Okay, Snorlax woke up and just decided to be like, "Whoa, yeah, blah."
I saw a countdown.
Yes, that is StreamYard's countdown, which is very popular among all the YouTube podcasts that like to prepare themselves. So, hi everybody, welcome to the second episode of the Psychedelic Laundromat show. We are live on another Friday. This officially September, so we're 2 days away from Labor Day, or yeah, 2 days away
Yep.
from Labor Day, and
Get your popcorn ready ahead for it.
yeah, and if on Labor Day. So for the people that don't know, Labor Day is a very workers' rights style holiday. It focuses mostly on workers in America and making sure that people remember how much we fought as workers in the country to make things better for themselves. For example, the weekend. The weekend would not have existed if workers didn't protest and making sure that they got those precious 2 days off, because back then you would have to work 6 days a week and then rest on the Sabbath, which was a Sunday. And then, or sometimes you'd have to work all 7 days. And then the workers were like, hell no, we need time off. And now we're going a step further, trying to make the work week a 4-day work week instead of 5. So don't be surprised if years from now we start seeing this 3-day weekends pop up, which I know would be a lot easier on people because you'd get paid the same amount of money that you would do during a 5-day work week, but it would now be a 4-day work week.
Dude, I went to a high school that had a 3-day weekend for us.
I mean, that's better than anything.
Trust me, it was a crazy fucking private school.
And also for Labor Day, what's also fought for, and is not gotten even close, but every single workplace being democratized, which means that workers would ultimately have more say of what goes on in the company than the employers do. So employers right now pretty much make all the decisions for a company, but for labor workers and for people that are in that movement, they are fighting to make sure that workers have a say, more of a say, I should say, or they completely just shatter the entire system so that it's all workers related. So depending on who you listen to and depending on what the ideology is for some people, that is some
unions.
What?
This is why we have unions.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why having unions is very important in any workplace that you go to, because a union will protect you from getting fired.
Exactly.
People don't know that. If you are a part of a union, your boss cannot fire you unless you commit such ultimate treason. Like, you would have to be the ultimate villain in order to get fired out of a union. Or if you decide, and the only way you leave the company is if you decide to quit. That's really what it boils down to. So just to give people just a little bit of an intro to that, but tonight,
first year out retirement.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, you would also have in a union would also get pensions. You would also have better access to social. You would have better access to making sure that you have enough retirement money by the time you turn 65. So you're not just you're not just relying always on Social Security, which is what we're all going to be doing by the time that we get older. But
I'm already there.
Yes, I know you are. But yeah, so that's just a little side thing. But anyway, tonight we're not going to be talking about that. But tonight we got it's been a slow news week, actually. There hasn't been a lot of interesting things, but I did find we did find 3 topics. So we lost Bob Barker without him going over, which we'll talk about in just a minute. We got some affair rumors from Steve Harvey, another game show host, and then we have some false advertising from Burger King that's been coming up. So I thought we'd talk about that. Oh yeah, we'll go into that story later on in the show. But I'm Deanie. We got Mooney here. We got Snorlax, or formerly known as Circus, once again, and of course Sylph, who is now turned into a potato. They are going to be listening to the show while they are making some delicious food. What? Got steak, corn, and a twice baked potatoes. What Sylph is making. So
You're cutting out badly on my end. I don't know if it's me or the
I
website.
am.
Yeah,
Well, my mic is working fine. I know
maybe
I
it's
can't hear
just
huh?
maybe it's just me.
Probably.
I don't know. Is Mooney hearing the same thing?
No, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. That's got to be on your end, Circus.
I guess the Snorlax woke up and he's trying to eat my computer now.
I don't know. Maybe once Sylph's done cooking and they come over, maybe if my mic is bad, they could just throw the potato in my face as a sign. And if not, that they could just put a plate of French fries to say that the audio is good. I don't know.
Yay for tries.
Or if there's somebody in the comments that that's going to bring it up, then by all means do so. But anyway, so let's talk about the not unfortunate passing of Bob Barker, because eventually it's amazing that he even got up to 99, to be quite honest with you. I mean, that is a feat in and of itself to get to that far, because the life expectancy is 76. So for him to get up to that age and without going over, which is the joke that everybody's been making about Bob Barker, is that he died before he went over. For those that don't know, for Price is Right, if you went over on a price, you automatically lose. So now I would have preferred, I was like, man, if he would have made that 100 mark, like it didn't matter if he died after that. Like everybody would just been like, yep, he lived an entire century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, Bob Barker, not unfortunately passed away because, like I said, he beat the life expectancy, and that should be applauded. That should be celebrated. Actually, I know his family, friends are sad, obviously, because they just lost a legend, and I know Adam Sandler is very sad because, like, Adam Sandler made Bob Barker. To be quite honest with you, Price is Right did not get very. I mean, Price is Right was not really that popular of a game show until Happy Gilmore came out, to be quite honest with you. Like, I didn't even, as somebody who used to watch game shows religiously as a kid, I was watching Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, never Price is Right until Happy Gilmore came out.
Price is not right, bitch, or something like that.
The price is wrong, bitch. For those of you that don't know, if you're too young to know what we're talking about, Happy Gilmore was a movie that came out in the mid-90s. It was one of Adam Sandler's biggest successes in terms of being a star in the comedy world.
This is when he used to be funny.
And, well, people still think he's funny now, especially since his new movie came out where he literally plays himself in a teen comedy where his actual daughter plays the main character. It's on Netflix. It just came out last Friday. It's about a Jewish family, or at least a teenage Jewish girl, which is played by his daughter, is going through like a bar mitzvah ceremony and meets somebody, a Jewish boy that she has a crush on. But Adam Sandler plays the Jewish dad. And it's literally him, Adam Sandler, and his real life wife also is in the movie. So the whole Sandler family made a Netflix movie. And for what I understand, it's actually funny from what my folks said and from what my Jewish friends said. And
I'm just to the point I'm turned off watching like certain Netflix movies ever since the whole cutie bullshit.
Oh, well, then you wouldn't like what people. Well, then you won't like people praising One Piece, the live action One Piece.
Well,
because people have been praising that since the week started.
Is it Joe? Is it really a bar mitzvah or is it a bat mitzvah?
Bat mitzvahs
are usually for girls and bar mitzvahs for the guys.
I don't know. I didn't watch the movie.
We're not Jewish. We don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm not Jewish either, but that's what I've heard. Damn it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't watch the movie. All I know is that it's a ceremony going on. Yeah. And Adam Sandler plays the obnoxious dad. But anyway, in the 90s, Happy Gilmore was Adam Sandler's biggest success. It was a movie about a disgruntled hockey player that used to play in the pros, but then he got hurt and then was living also has anger issues.
Don't we all?
I'm talking anger issues. but also creepiness because he tried to make up with his girlfriend over the PA speaker. And but anyway, so he eventually finds out that, oh, he plays golf really well because he hits the ball like you would hit a puck in hockey. So he ends up becoming a professional golfer and wins all this money because of the fact that his grandmother is living on her own. I think his grandfather passed, so his grandmother's living on her own, and they want to take away her house.
Yeah.
And she's gonna have to end up living in an old folks' home, which she doesn't like because of fucking Ben Stiller and his creepy character. And Adam Sandler.
Ben Stiller makes all his fucking characters creepy somehow.
Oh yes, I mean Ben Stiller's like every comedy he's in, he's almost creepy. He's always a creepy character. White Goodman from Dodgeball.
Remember the one he did at Fat Camp?
Oh yeah, Tony Perkis was his name, which is basically just White Goodman from Dodgeball.
Yes.
They're the same exact character.
I have a theory. Tony Perkins fucking decided to go from that to that.
Oh yeah, my friend and I made the exact same theory actually, because we both grew up on those movies.
I know. I loved Heavyweights.
Oh yeah, that was a good movie. My friend made me sit down and watch it with him on VHS, and we just had a blast. We just kept making fun of it the whole time. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so Adam Sandler's like, okay. At first, he doesn't want to play golf, but then he realized that there's huge cash benefits from playing at tournaments and winning. So he gets these big ass checks from winning all these tournaments, and then eventually, during the movie, in the middle of it, he is in a celebrity golf tournament with Bob Barker as his teammate, and they suck because Adam Sandler is like Happy Gilmore, I should say, or as my dad calls him, Happy Madison. Like he just gets so mad on the golf course that it completely fucks up their game. And because he can't work with Bob Barker, who's his teammate, he gets so angry, they start having a fight. And in the middle of the tournament, and that's where the whole "the price is wrong, bitch" tagline came from. Because Bob Barker pretended to be dead after he got punched in the face, and then I can't remember if Bob Barker kicked him in the crotch or something. And then like
years since I've seen that movie, so I can't remember either.
Yeah, I can't remember it that much either. But yeah, that's where Bob Barker like got infamous because he got in a fight with Adam Sandler in the Happy Gilmore movie. And then people started watching The Price is Wrong right after that. And it's also something because like that movie made Adam Sandler. So he's been very happy about the fact that, you know, Bob Barker was such a big part of his career. So I got let me read the article from Variety about Bob Barker. Adam Sandler posted a photo of himself on Instagram with Bob, writing, "The man, the myth, the best, such a sweet, funny guy to hang out with. Loved talking to him, loved laughing with him, loved him kicking the crap out of me. He will be missed by everyone I know. Love to Bob, always in his family. Thanks for all you gave us." And they talk about how he was influential in the cameo that he had in Happy Gilmore. 96, so I knew I was right there with the mid-90s thing. Rob Schneider, who really turned out to be a piece of shit. Besides being in horrible movies, he really turned out to be a piece of shit. But he wrote on X, one of the nicest thing I ever heard in show business was Bob Barker saying, "I moved to Hollywood to be an actor, and the only person who ever let me do it was Adam Sandler." Drew Carey, who also took Bob Barker's place on The Price is Right. And I remember that night infamously when that announcement was made. So, I mean, I remember how it happened too, because I knew that Bob Barker was leaving, but that was the big mystery at the time. The big mystery was who was going to replace him. And everybody had these theories, but I can't remember who was the front runner. I know it wasn't Drew Carey, but I think it was some. I can't remember if it was something else, but I remember that Drew Carey was on the David Letterman show at the time. And as they were recording the show, Drew Carey got the call that he was going to be the host, because people don't know this. After Who's Line, Drew Carey became a host of another game show called Power of 10. And it was on, I think it was also on the same network that CBS was doing. Or maybe it had been ABC. I can't remember. But Drew, after Whose Line was over, he decided to become a host for that game show. And I remember it only lasted like less than a year. It didn't even last that long, to be quite honest with you. I mean, because it wasn't a very, I think what ruined the game show mostly was that the first contestant they ever had won the $1 million prize right away. And so people are like, oh, why would we bother watching it if you can win $1 million that easily?
Yeah.
But no, he got his game show chops for doing that show, and I didn't put two and two together at the time. But as the Power 10 was like airing, Drew actually was going to be was going to be one of the guests on there because of that game show. But while he was getting ready to to sit on the chair with Letterman, he got the call that he was going to be the host, and I think they were in the middle of like a sketch or something on the David Letterman show as it was going on. And so when Drew finally sat down, David's got this look on his face like, oh, we got some exciting news here. And then Drew announces that he's going to be the host of the Price is Right from now on. And I remember the crowd just erupted with with cheers and applause. And it was such a hallmark moment. I remember the ratings on that were huge because everyone just tuned in to find out that he was the host. And like the internet blew up in a storm. I even remember the last episode that Bob Barker was on, and he brought out. I remember like he was like, "Okay, Drew Carey's here, and he's now going to be the host, or like the new permanent host of the show." And they did this big send off. It was great. It was absolutely great. Bob Barker, definitely one of the more iconic game show hosts out there. I mean, definitely was one of the reasons why people watch Price is Right. And now Drew Carey has taken over and he's doing very well with that show. And that show hasn't missed a beat. I almost went to a Price is Right taping because they were filming it in one of the casinos down here in South Florida. This was about 10 years ago. My friend Alex and I wanted to go, and we didn't end up going, but we were thinking about it. And the idea of even getting, here's how difficult it is to get on Price is Right. There's an actual documentary about one of the smartest Price is Right contestants that ever existed. This guy literally had a computer program that he made himself on the Price is Right show. He watched every single episode and he knew the prices of every single item that was on the show. He could tell you exactly what a vacuum cleaner cost, like a certain brand of a certain item. He knew the exact numbers of it because they kept bringing on the same items sometimes on certain episodes. He called it. It was like pinpoint accuracy in his mind. He could tell you exactly what number to bid on, especially when you were picking out the contestants, like the 4 contestants in the front. He would always be in the audience because he kept trying to get on the show for years and years and years. He always showed up and they never picked him because they didn't think he was interesting enough. But eventually there were other contestants that got on that went to him for help, and they would always hear him in the audience. And it was like, wait a minute, how did you get that pinpoint accuracy? It's like, oh, that guy up there, he told me the answer because he's been watching the show for the longest time. And Bob was like, oh, I'm gonna have to keep my eye on you, good sir. And Bob Barker actually got him one time because there was a certain car that he pictured in his mind. Okay, that car is worth $2,000. So he told the contestant, hey, bid $2,000. And so she did. And it's like, oh, sorry, that's wrong. I got you, sir. Ha ha. It turns out that this car also has an extended warranty. And the guy was like, oh my God, how did I not take extended warranties into it? So he had to change his whole program with cars to involve extended warranties so he can get the price right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then eventually he got on the show and he got all the way to the giant wheel. And of course the giant wheel is unpredictable. It's luck. But he knew like, okay, I knew which number to stop spinning on. So it's like, okay, this guy can't beat me. I got a pretty high score. I got like 75 or something. The contestant after him spins, gets an 85. He's like, fuck. How did this guy beat the odds against me? And Bob's like, well, too bad.
Oh, that fucking wheel.
Yeah, that fucking wheel, man. But yeah, that show, I mean, I remember Bob Barker saying this in an interview also. He's like, the Price is Right. When you're the host on that show, like your life is made after that. Like you practically live like a good life after that. You get like you can live anywhere you want. Basically, when you become a game show host, your career is set. You don't have to worry because you could just get paid for the next 30 years if a show is successful, and you don't have to. You don't have to worry about things. You could just do that forever, and who cares whether you do afterwards? Like, you got enough money for the rest of your life. Which I'm sure he would have loved to be an actor for Happy Gilmore, which I'm sure, because I think that was the only movie he's ever been in, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't think he's been in anything else. I know Drew Carey was on, what was it, that one Adam Sandler movie where he played twins. Yeah, they did another Price is Right thing with that, because, like I said, Price is Right made Adam Sandler, or at least Bob Barker did.
Oh my god, that was a terrible movie.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I just can't remember the name of it.
Jack and Jill.
Oh, Jack and Jill, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Al Pacino had to go into hiding for a while after that. It was like I was in Godfathers 1 through 3. I was in the entire trilogy, and then I make a bad move, and then I pretend that I'm in love with Adam Sandler. That's got to be the worst.
Was Scarface, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, this guy played a blind man. This guy was in so many iconic movies, and yet he's gonna go and ruin his career with one movie. All it takes is one Adam Sandler movie to ruin your career after that.
I found it on sound for that.
All I can remember is from the movie, the part where he's like doing the fucking Dunkin's commercial or something. Oh my god! And he's like telling them to burn the footage.
I hope the president don't sue me, because I really want to play up this fail sound when you brought up about like a fall from grace.
I forgot that he won 19 Emmys, Bob Barker.
Damn. Right. Oh well. That'll do for another day.
Remember, kiddos, spay and neuter your pets, like Bob Barker always told us.
Oh yeah, I remember that because I remember they actually referenced that in Shrek 2, where Donkey says about after getting Puss in Boots Atsu, we take him, let's neuter him right here. Give him the Bob Barker treatment.
Well, at least I made him proud and got my cat fixed. So there you go, Bob.
I wonder if Bob Barker just had like an issue with cats or something, and that's why he was like doing that.
No, I think it was because the overpopulation of pets and shit.
Yep.
Oh, just cats just going all over the place, just having their own grand old time.
Yep. We're having a big ass orgy.
Oh no, let's not bring up Burning Man, please.
I was thinking about some scene from South Park where Mrs. Kitty or Mr. Kitty had to have
Miss Kitty. It's a female, because in that episode, Kitty got into heat and she brought in the, and we could tell it's a female too. After she watched like a documentary on lions, and she brought in some cat friends, and even one of them snorted up catnip. And that's as revenge, like right when Cartman and Shelley came back.
All right, let's move on to the Steve Harvey affair bullshit.
Oh yeah, because I remember talking about this off air on Wednesday, and people were like, "Wait, what? Why is what's about Steve Harvey?" We're moving from one game show host to another now. Somebody who also made Family Feud more.
I'm going to say this right here. I think Steve Harvey's teeth reminds me of Donkey's teeth from fucking Shrek so badly. I don't know why, but I find it funny. Okay, now we got that out of the way.
Okay, so there's been some rumors going around about Steve Harvey and his wife over the past few days. While appearing at an Invite Fest in Atlanta this past Sunday, Steve Harvey kicked off the set by addressing rumors about trouble in his marriage. And here is the actual TikTok about it that I'm going to pull up here.
Oh, Lord.
Hold on. Let me get it up. Every time it says present, I keep thinking I'm looking for share screen, and on here it's called present. Oh. It's not called screen share, which is weird. Oh, what the fuck?
Good thing I don't use
I don't
TikTok.
want related videos. There we go.
Yeah. One thing about me, I've always loved black people. I've always loved my people. Y'all belong to me and I belong to y'all.
You don't belong to me.
Before I get started, just let me say, I'm fine. Yeah. You fine.
You ain't no slave.
I don't know what y'all doing. But find something else to
I
do.
dead ass don't know what's going on.
Okay. Lord have mercy.
So yeah, that's basically him addressing the rumors by not so subtly saying it in front of people. Like, we're just fine. There's nothing wrong with us. We're just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But so last week, reports emerged that Marjorie Harvey, his wife of 16 years, this is from the Entertainment Weekly website, was seeking a divorce after being caught in an extramarital affair. The story quickly picked up steam on social media and began circulating as a meme. So this is going back to the whole, like, oh, she invited the pool boy over.
Well, you don't blame her. Look what she had to deal with for the rest of her life.
So taking a similar approach to Steve, Marjorie addressed the rumors without naming them. On Sunday night, she posted a screenshot of an article titled, "How to Handle Being Lied About." And she said on Instagram, "My husband and I don't usually stop to address all the foolishness and lies that have been spread about us." She captioned the photo. "However, to whom much is given, much is required. I understand that with my platform comes some sort of responsibility to those that may not be as strong as we are. Read and share this with your loved ones that may not know how to properly cope. God bless all of you." So she didn't really address the accusation. Just as much as Steve is not really, didn't really, is like, oh, we're just fine, but which is not really saying whether she cheated on him or not. Like, it's just like, they're just both very vague statements.
Yeah.
It does not seem like they're really addressing it. Because if it was not true at all, they would just come out and flat out say, like, no, I don't even know where this shit is coming from, and everybody needs to stop fucking spreading this shit. But it doesn't even seem like that.
Right.
Like, okay, so Ned Nwoko, the Nigerian politician and philanthropist, also rose to the couple's defense with a statement of his own. On an Instagram post on Sunday, he claimed he had spoken to the couple, who dispelled any rumors of marriage problems. So he goes, "Fake news has been taken to new heights all over the world, and this is so unfortunate. We experience this practically every day, and so when we read about our friend Steve Harvey and his lovely wife having issues, we had to contact him, and he confirmed that he and his wife are very much okay, and it's all fake news and should be disregarded. The family is happy together, and we wish them all the best." So gossip about the Harvey's marriage may have been fueled by the recent controversy stirred up by a tweet from Steve's account asking followers to name comedians they don't find funny. After receiving backlash for the negative tweet, the Family Feud host explained that the post was written by someone who handles his own social media, as he prefers his posts to remain positive. So Steve Harvey does not post on his own X page. It's somebody else doing it. So because it ruined his image of positivity, because that's what Steve Harvey's all about on his radio show. He's like, my whole brand is to be motivational. I'm all about positivity. I would never have done nothing like that. Like making a tweet video about that. And so that's where apparently this whole thing started. And there's also nothing about where, like, the person that found out this information got the information from about the cheating. Maybe it was somebody that she actually cheated with and they're just not saying anything yet. But it's just the way that them both and their friends are really just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like they're not really providing. And by the way, it's not their job to prove that there's no cheating going around. I mean, they don't have nothing to prove. It's actually the person on the other end that has to prove the cheating. But
Yeah.
it's just the way that it comes off from them. It's like, what are these people with their lives wanting to know, like, what there's like drama in our relationship. What is it with people? And it's like, well, I mean, one of them is a public figure, is a game show host that's watched by millions of people. And by the way, has made an entire brand about making sure that, you know, positivity is spread across the entire, making sure that everything in their life is positive, you know? And there's no purpose in that. There's no purpose in, you know, trying to, there's no way in trying to make sure that, you know, if you're going to put out this positive image, then when something negative comes out, of course you're going to try to go backlash against it because it's going against your brand. Because it seems like, okay, now we're in damage control. This seems like a damage control move more than anything else, because it would be flat out, like, if it wasn't true, like I said, like they could practically just say, oh my God, it's like there's nothing going on. And these people that are doing this have absolutely nothing to stand on. But instead, they just do it like, oh, these people in our audience, they're just focused on the drama, so to speak. And that's where it really just comes off as, in my opinion. But I don't know. Maybe more stuff will come out of it, or maybe it not. Maybe it will just be I don't know. Maybe it will just not show up at all. Who knows? Okay. So that's that one. Now let's do the Burger King one.
Okay.
So there's a lawsuit from Burger King, claiming that the Burger King Whopper looks bigger than the ads than it actually does in real life. So let me read from the actual article from Fortune. So food ads have long made their subjects look bigger, juicier, and crispier than they are in real life. But some consumers say those mouth-watering ads can cross the line into deception, and that's leading to a growing number of lawsuits. Burger King is the latest company in the crosshairs. In August, a federal judge in Florida, my home state, refused to dismiss a class action lawsuit that claims Burger King's ads overstate the amount of meat in its Whopper burger and other sandwiches. But Burger King is far from the only one. Perkins Coie, a law firm that tracks class action lawsuits, said 214 were filed against food and beverage companies last year, and 101 were filled in the first 6 months of this year. That's a huge increase from the past 10 years when just 45 were filled. Pooja Nair, who represents food and beverage companies, is a partner with the Beverly Hills, California-based law firm Irvin Cohen and Jessup, said waves of class action lawsuits started hitting federal courts a few years ago. Some of the first were false advertising claims against chip makers for not completely filling the bags, which we're talking about Doritos here. Most of those were dismissed, she said. Since 2019, hundreds of lawsuits have been filed asserting that consumers are being misled by vanilla-flavored products that don't contain pure vanilla or vanilla beans. Plaintiffs' attorneys filed these cases in the same courts in New York, California, and in Illinois, where federal courts are less likely to dismiss them. While the case against Burger King was filed in Miami, where its parent company has its U.S. headquarters, I did not know that Burger King had its company here in Miami. What the fuck? That's something else. One of the attorneys who filed it has similar cases pending in New York against Wendy's, McDonald's, and Taco Bell. That attorney, James Kelly, didn't respond to a message seeking comment. Companies often settle cases before a lawsuit is filed instead of spending the time and money fighting it in court, Nair said. Earlier this summer, Dr. Pepper agreed to pay $15 million to settle claims they had received or deceived customers with a label made with aged vanilla on cans of soda, which actually use synthetic flavoring. Others say growing consumer awareness is behind the trend. Social media can make a photo of a soggy sandwich go viral, informing other potential plaintiffs, said Jordan Hudgens, the chief technology officer for Dash Track, an Arizona-based company that develops restaurant websites. Rising awareness of health and nutrition is also causing people to question product claims, he said. Ben Michael, an attorney with Michael and Associates in Austin, Texas, said, inflation also might be making restaurants a target right now, since some may not cut back on portion sizes to cut costs. Unfortunately, many businesses make these changes without consulting their marketing companies or updating their menus to represent new portion sizes and ingredients, he said. This leaves them open to the kinds of lawsuits we've been seeing more of. In that Burger King case, plaintiffs in multiple states sued in March 2022, claiming that advertisements and photos on store menu boards show burgers that are about 35% larger with double the meat than the burgers they purchased. The plaintiffs said they wouldn't have bought the sandwiches if they had known the actual size. A Burger King spokesperson said the plaintiff's claims are false and that the beef patties in its ads are the same ones it serves across the U.S. In late August, U.S. District Judge Roy Altman dismissed some of the plaintiffs' claims. He ruled that the plaintiffs can't argue that television or online ads constituted a binding offer from Burger King because they don't list the price or product information. But he said the plaintiffs could argue that the images on the menu boards represented a binding offer. He also didn't dismiss claims of negligent misrepresentation. Nair said it's unclear how the case will be resolved. Generally, she said, cases against fast food giants have been hard to win. Unlike boxes of cereals or soda, every sandwich is different, and some look more like the images on menu boards than others, which is exactly my point. How are you going to claim that a burger is bigger or smaller than what's being advertised if different places cook things differently? Because not every piece of food that you make is automatically going to have the same exact effect. I know, for example, when I make pasta, the last thing especially when I'm making a bolognese and I'm making a special sauce, not a special sauce, but a meat sauce, like the quality of the sauce is going to be different than how I would do it the next time around. So I might add more meat. I might add less meat. I might put more wine in it. I might put less wine in it. I might balance out the sofrito, which is the onions, the carrots, and the celery. I might just splurge up everything and make it different. So it's never the same as like when you see it on a picture for the first time. Like even sometimes when that's like me saying that I would sue the recipe maker on a website because the recipe picture that they used is different than the one when I make it at home. Because it's never the same when you make things different. I mean, we have 3 different people here on this channel who make food, and it never comes out the same when we look at recipes, especially if we're getting it from like TikTok or Facebook, for example, or even YouTube in general. It doesn't look the same. And imagine if we just sued everybody that we did it for that. So the fact that there are people out there complaining that Whoppers are not as advertised because they're bigger than they actually look, then I don't know. You're not doing yourself any favors there. I mean, my God, food is not going to always look the same. I mean, I would, if it can always be pitch perfect accuracy all the time, it would be great. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. So the U.S. Supreme Court, going back to the article, the U.S. Supreme Court hasn't weighed in on these issues, so they've been decided on a court-by-court basis. In 2020, a federal appeals court upheld the dismissal of a lawsuit against Dunkin'. The plaintiff said the company deceived them when it said their wraps contained Angus steak. They actually contained ground meat. Ultimately, the Burger King case and others can cause companies to be more careful with their ads, said Jeff Gullock, an associate professor of marketing at Carnegie Mellon University's Temper School of Business, but that could come at a cost. More realistic photos might lead to lower sales. Oh, classic. That's a classic line because, everything gets spruced up in those advertisements. That gets photoshopped to the core. I know somebody that's like a food blogger, and they always are trying to add like more colors to their picture in order to make the picture look appealing. So when they upload it, it actually looks like that. Oh, wow, the potatoes actually cooked on your end, Sylph.
Yep.
Anyway, but there's this whole thing about because now that it's going to contribute to less sales. I mean, that's why people spruce up their food pictures and their food videos, because they're trying to make it look more appealing, because people can't actually taste what you make in the picture. They just can't. You have it, like, that's why they spruce it up. Like I was saying before, the person that taught me how to cook would take a professional camera. They would go outside with the food, and they had a little studio balcony, and they would just put the dish right in front of their little balcony, and they would take pictures with lighting, and sometimes if they were doing a video, they would have it on a spinner, and they would spin the dish around so they can get different angles of the food so that people would take a look at it. Like, it's never what you see on videos and pictures with food is not going to be the same as when you make it. And that's why they try to appeal to them, because they want to get more people to actually taste the food and buy the food. If they were honest with the advertising, people would actually not eat it. So that's why they try to Photoshop it and make it look sexy. That's why food porn exists.
And also shitty food porn.
Yeah, that too. I mean, Kay's Cooking, for example. Yeah, so that's the end of the article. Yeah, so people got, my opinion, people got way too overreactive to Burger King's advertisement. It's like, because the Whoppers are too big. Yeah, well, sometimes depending on which part of the country you're in, they're going to either make it bigger or smaller, depending on who's behind the counter making those burgers and how they're stacking it. Like, this is not like Mondo Burger in the movie where they had an assembly line where the employees were just making everything exactly as how the person behind them was doing it in their heads, like a drill sergeant. That's not how it works, thankfully, because if that was the case, oh my God, you might as well just have machines doing it all the time. And by the way, even if it is on a machine, the product does not always look like it does on the package when you're buying it from the grocery store. As somebody who buys DiGiorno, the DiGiorno pizzas don't always look alike when they come out of the box. It might be with the same ingredients, but they never, like, the pizzas sometimes are weirdly shaped and sometimes they're in a perfect circle. But depending on how they manufacture it, sometimes it just does not come out the way it's advertised, and it does not even taste the way it's advertised sometimes. I remember when DiGiorno actually tasted good, and now it's just like, because I remember, what was it, late 90s? Like, oh, that thing was they advertised it like it was the shit, and it was. Now it's not so much. That's because they've changed the recipe so many times. But it's not advertised the way it is on the box or in the commercials. In fact, I haven't even seen a DiGiorno commercial in a long time, to be fair. Now, if Giorno from Part 5 actually did that, maybe that would change things. Maybe we'd actually get more sales, but doesn't seem like to be the case, because then the Italians would be like, why didn't you just advertise like actual pizza? You know? But no.
Joe,
not the case for that.
Hey, Joe, speaking of that, that reminds me of that time I showed you a DiGiorno stuff with JoJo, remember?
Yes. I was hoping that they would actually, advertise for just a short amount of time, but no, not even. Especially when there's videos out there where you can make actual authentic Neapolitan pizza. But again, actual Neapolitan pizza does not look the same when you see it in the videos. So, yeah. So, like I said, slow news day this week. Not a whole lot came out. Besides the blue moon, which I only caught a glimpse of, and it did not look blue at all. It just looked like a regular moon.
Just a super moon. I even tried to look it up. Hell, I even slept with the moon with the windows open so I can get a little bit of the moonlight on me.
God, if it was a blue moon, a full blue moon, can you imagine the Wolverines out there, or the werewolves, I should say? Like, do you think they would have actually turned into blue werewolves? Like, just from the color of the moon, it's just like one of those like times. It's like, oh hey, we're blue tonight. I don't know. It's not like with the red moon, because some people said like they saw a red moon when the blue moon was going on. Like they did not see blue at all. I don't know. Oh, but I also know that there was also the actress who played Harley Quinn. Like I know she passed also around the same time as Bob Barker. But it's sad that she passed, to be quite honest. I didn't watch any of the Batman cartoons growing up, so I didn't really know that much about that Harley Quinn. I mean, I know I've seen her on Days of Our Lives, which is the soap opera she was on, because that was my mom's favorite soap opera. So I know her from that, but just barely. Like sometimes, like I would see her on the TV because I would come home, my mom would be watching it with like a glass of wine or something, and I would just capture glimpses of her before I went into my rooms. Like, nope, I'm not watching the soap opera. I'm gonna go play on the N64. Sorry, Mom, I'm not interested in your stories, because that's what she used to call it. But yeah, I didn't know much about her besides her playing Harley Quinn. That's barely all I know about her, to be quite honest. I know some of my friends were upset about it, but not as much as me. Although it's still sad what happened. Yeah, but other than that, that's really all we had tonight. Because there's like story wise. Because like I said, slow news week, very very slow news week. Bless you.
Thanks.
You made me freaking hungry.
She was married to Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that Christopher Lloyd. We have to double check on that, because I don't know if it's Doc Brown. I have to really double check on that. By the way, how is that steak, corn, and twice baked potato?
It's okay so far.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. I wish I put the potato in for longer, but yeah, it's good. Okay, no, it's not that Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, because I was about to say, like, wait a minute, that one? Because they would have probably said something like, oh yeah, that Christopher Lloyd that was in Back to the Future and Pagemaster. I know that's an obscure movie. Like, why would he be known for Pagemaster? It's like, damn it, that's the movie I grew up on.
Oh my god, I love the painting effects in that movie.
Oh wow, she was Harley Quinn up until 2012.
Yeah, she played that character for a long time, and now Margot Robbie plays her.
Margot Robbie
in the movies, but what about the cartoon?
Oh well, yeah, that too. Then who knows? Maybe Margot Robbie will dress up like the original Harley Quinn.
The thing is, Lady Gaga's taking over Harley now.
That is true. Because I know she's going to be with Joaquin Phoenix as Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Which, hey, Lady Gaga is a good actress. She proved that she could be a good actress when she was in that movie with Bradley Cooper, Star is Born, which has gone through like how many other like remakes? Like that movie has been remade in movie history like as long as movies have existed.
4 times.
Yeah, there's the Judy Garland one, there's the Barbra Streisand one, and now there's the Lady Gaga one.
Actually, there was the original, and then the rest of them had stars.
Yeah. Yeah, I never saw the original one. I remember watching the Judy Garland one for like the first like 45 minutes because it was in school, and then we had to then school was done, so we couldn't watch the rest of it.
I can send you the original one. It's on YouTube.
Well, of course, it's an old classic movie, so it's got to be on YouTube, obviously.
Trust me, it's not in black and white, so I can send it to you.
Yeah, it's not like we're gonna get caught. It's like nobody's gonna copyright that movie. Barbara Streisand one I heard was not as good, to be quite honest.
I made it to the Judy Garland one, the original. I haven't made it to the Gaga.
The Gaga one was good. I mean, considering it's the guy who voices Rocket that directed it, Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I mean, it's a good movie, but it's just I don't know if the ending is the what?
Streisand's version's next on my list to watch. Then Gaga.
Yeah.
I'm doing by who did it first.
Yeah, so you're going in order, which is, I mean, people prefer it that way. Although I will say, Gaga trying to pretend to be an Italian did not work out. Or people are saying like, "Oh, she acted beautifully on that." I'm like, but her accent, though, her Italian accent does not do it justice. I'm sorry.
The thing is, she's Italian.
Yeah, well, no, she's not Italian. That's the problem. She's Italian-American. She's not Italian.
Yeah.
Like, just get an Italian actress to play her. To be going, I mean, you could get away with it doing that, but no, it's like, no, we got to get Lady Gaga in here. It's like, I mean, all right. But speaking of going back to Margot Robbie, so Gran Turismo was the movie that actually beat Barbie in the box office. And from what some movie was going to eventually do it. I mean, that's the thing with all movies. But Gran Turismo was like, I was seeing the reviews online and not the professional movie reviews. I was actually reading some reviews from fans, and they were jumping up in joy because finally something beat the Barbie movie. That's the only reason. That's the only reason people were happy that this movie was good. It was not because the movie was good. It was just like, oh, it made enough money to beat up that horrible Barbie movie that we secretly like. Like, that's all I got out of it. Huh?
I was trying to get the movie and the sound came on.
Oh. Yeah, but from what I understand from Gran Turismo, I haven't seen it, but what I understand from it is it's just your run-of-the-mill, terrible, it's just your run-of-the-mill terrible movie. It's like, oh, it's got fast cars, it's got everything you want, but
yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Practically, that's what it is. But it's enough to, it's like, okay, we're finally away from like the woke Hollywood. I'm like, but woke Hollywood made that movie. Woke Hollywood made Gran Turismo, and it didn't do a very good job on it, from what I understand from the critics, because they said like, yeah, it's like a 2-hour advertisement. That's like, oh, hey, buy our video game that we now turned into a movie. Here's the 2-hour advertisement. At least with the Mario movie, at least they had a storyline behind it. This one just seemed like, hey, a person that used to play, that used to be like a gamer as a career, or it used to be like an esports player, is now all of a sudden driving cars. And it's like, oh, we're bringing the game experience to real life. And yeah.
But with Mario, everyone has like a 30-plus love affair with him. And we all know we're going into a commercial when we see it.
But the difference is him and Peach didn't have a love affair at all.
I like it better when there ain't no love affair. I like the story.
Well, I mean, they're probably going to build up to it, but right now it's just like, let's start cooking things. Like, let's not cut people the wrong impression that they could just be infatuated with each other right away.
That's what I mean. I like the love grows from the movie.
Circus, just let them cook for once.
That's what I meant.
You know the meme called "Let him cook"?
Oh God.
I thought it was a good. Yeah, that's what I meant.
There's a quarterback in the NFL that always likes to say, "Let it ride," or let us. Yeah, it's let us ride and let us cook. So let Peach have a
Peach had
girlfriend.
Come on, Nintendo.
We all know she's secretly in love with Daisy.
Yeah, we should just get Daisy and Peach in the same room and just be like, okay, you can express your true feelings.
Her version of Wario.
Well, no, Daisy's not evil. Daisy,
No,
Daisy
the
doesn't.
opposite.
This is a tomboy.
So she could still love.
Yeah, the neckbeards out there would love that. A lesbian Peach.
No, they would hate it.
Not for them.
They would hate it. The neckbeards would hate it because they want her to be with Bowser.
Dude, I'm being sarcastic.
They would. Oh God, they would absolutely hate it. Like I said, they would not enjoy it. Oh, imagine in the next one, in the sequel, she says, "I will not marry anybody. I'm my own independent person." They'd be like, "Boo!" But then I would bring up, "Did you see the ending to Mario Odyssey? Like both Bowser and Mario propose to her. She says, 'Fuck you' to both of them." Like they do it in the games, so they're actually doing so. Like they're following what they're doing in the games to a perfection. But then they'll say, "But what about in the earlier games when they talk about that there's an infatual relationship with them?" It's like, no, but she could change her mind later.
I'm just excited to see Oshi. Come on.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I want an Oshi plushie.
I keep hearing you say Yoshi, but every time you say it, I keep hearing Oshi. So now all of a sudden, I'm just imagining like a Yoshi on the beach.
I'm eating. Sorry.
Just like with a Hawaiian shirt on, just drinking coconut juice.
Yo, Yoshi. Oh yeah, he's related to Tito.
Sammy, like the ancient Hawaiians used to say, "What the fuck are you doing with that kite?" Oh, Tito.
Oh, I love Tito. I miss. I wish
the rocket. Oh, that entire show though. That entire show, Rocket Power.
I'm sorry, but Tito made the show for me.
Yeah, he did, to be quite honest. And the fact that he wanted to host a party, but Raymundo wouldn't let him because he's had disappointing parties in the past.
Oh, God.
Don't be disappointed. Remember that toga party? Don't be disappointed. Remember that disco party? It's like, okay, Ray, you made your point. And then he finally has a successful party when Raymundo's not there. So it was really Ray's fault.
Yeah.
Raymundo, you're the one we blame for this.
Oh, today's the 20th anniversary of the Badger song. Or sorry, Badger Mushroom song.
Oh, mushroom. If anybody doesn't know, on Newgrounds, there was a Badger song that would just keep repeating over and over again. And it was just one guy just singing Badger, Badger, Badger. And every time he'd sing it, a Badger would just like dance the same dance. And all of a sudden it would just cut to mushroom. And then he would just sing it like Elvis, mushroom, mushroom. And then it would just keep repeating. And then finally it's like, happy Kong Snake.
Better than the hamster song.
Yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, the One Piece live action show came out last night, and
wasn't it?
Already tired of it.
And
Me
already
too.
the people online are praising it, saying it's like one of the greatest adaptations that has ever been made. And I'm saying that from the fans' perspective. The critics, on the other hand, say it's okay, it's all right, but it's something that will get you through. But you know, it's not like a 5-star restaurant. But then the fans are like, "Oh my god, this is 5-star restaurant quality, like right here. Like nothing beats this. I mean, we got to go through shitty anime adaptations, but now this one takes the cake." Now, I wonder if that's because they're just
Yeah,
trying
you
to
say that
defend
now,
One
but wait
Piece.
until later on down the road. You're gonna see it'll suck later.
Yeah, that could always happen. And I'm just wondering if it's because they're just trying to defend the show from people out there that are just saying
much.
like, why is everybody so down on Netflix? What's the problem? Like, people just have too much time on their hands. Like, can we just enjoy our shows? Or if they really did like it and they're trying to just fight back against anybody that's like, it's like, why are you going against the anime that I love? I grew up with this. This is my shit. This is what got me through my day. And now you're going to complain about it because now it's live action. Why? You're hurting the one thing that I like. And if you do that, you're saying that I suck.
Yikes.
I want a live action of fucking Inuyasha, and I want it now.
Don't, circus.
No.
No.
Don't put
You-
that evil on
Yeah,
us.
don't you dare. Don't
Oh,
you
I mean-
dare.
Look, with the success of One Piece, they might end just up doing it anyway. Just because, like, oh, well, now there's a market for it, so let's do it.
Insert the Fire Emblem Awakenings farewell, my friends in the background.
Think about it, JoJo, the live action film.
Well, I bitch.
No, I want it as a
bringing it
film.
up.
I want it as a movie franchise, JoJo. I don't want it as a TV show. As long as they do it right, I'll be fine with that. But if they don't do it right, I'm like, all right, I'll just go back and watch the show then.
I know that in Japan they did once have a JoJo Part 4 live action.
And they never made the sequel. Because from what I understand, I saw the clips of it, and they just completely butchered the story. They took a lot of the elements out of it just to try to make it flow well. And plus, the stands did not even look like stands. And by the way, the director was a JoJo fan. And I'm like, okay, he's going to stay true to the JoJo thing, but it's not. I mean, the stands didn't even look like stands. That was the problem.
If you hear a jingle ball in the background, that's the cat playing.
That's Chester doing this thing.
Yeah, he's just playing with one of his toys.
Oh, Fiona and Cake premiered.
Oh yeah.
What's Fiona and Kate?
Adventure Time with Fiona and Cake. It's like Finn and Jake, but they're female counterparts.
Rule 63.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never got into Adventure Time.
Well, this one's like where you have, like, for example, you have Princess Bubblegum originally, but now it's Prince Gumball, and the Ice King is now the Ice Queen, etc.
So they're all gay now.
One can hope.
I know at least one of the characters was gay on Adventure Time.
Marceline and
Yeah, Marceline and Bubblegum did end up together.
Yep. But we don't know about counterparts like Marshall and Prince Gumball.
Well, they're probably gay too.
Hey, listen, if we could just make every show queer, can we just do that? Can we just make every show that exists? Can we just make it queer just right off the bat?
No, then you got fucking conservative parents fucking bitching at everyone else.
Oh, who gives a fuck about them? I could care less about that. That's like, okay, look, if you're gonna be the parents that are gonna try to censor things, like, I'm sorry, we're not. I mean, we allow your shit, but we don't go about trying to censor you.
It's funny. They're saying that we push like all our crap down people's throat when they do the same fuck.
We don't even do it. We just express it. We just express it, and then they're just like, I don't like it when you express it. And I was like, I'm sorry.
Like, okay, Karen, you go acting like you didn't do anything wrong when you're on your third marriage, because
yeah,
your husband keeps fucking his secretary because he's tired of your shit.
Probably
like, imagine
spending money on that haircut and bleaching your hair. Maybe being a better person would make your life better.
And always having lunch with your girlfriends. And I don't mean it in like a horny way, but I'm like, oh, hey, you're just gonna have brunch because your husbands are at work.
Or drinking,
drinking
kombucha. Or like drinking like kombucha or something.
Take another fucking pill, Karen.
Well, that's if they really want to get drunk. Although for them it would be the white wine, and I say white wine because Karens rarely drink red wine.
Have another pill, Karen. I'm sure your fat ass will enjoy that fucking diet pill.
Like, can you just imagine, like, instead of if we had a queer version of Fresh Prince, like, instead of Will, like, it could be a storyline where Will thinks like, oh, I gotta have to get with a woman because it will make me feel like a man, but then really he finds out that he's in love with Jazz.
Yeah.
And then having to go to Uncle Phil and say, Uncle Phil, I think I'm in love with guys. And then Uncle Phil tells the story about how he was in love with a man, but he made a mistake and then ended up marrying his Aunt Vivian because it's like, I had to prove I was a man, so I married a woman. And then the whole story just evolves into like Will's now with a guy, and then Uncle Phil's like, maybe I should really consider these feelings. Maybe I should tell my wife about it. And then Aunt Vivian's like, I knew it. I fucking knew you were Pan. Like, it was no surprise. Like, wait, you knew before you married me? Hell yes, that's why I married you. I was just waiting for you to tell me.
If only reality worked like that. If only other shows worked like that.
Yeah, well, hey, if they're not going to do it, then we can write it. What the fuck?
Sounds like something you'd see
fanfic
in, like...
writers out there, get your keyboards out.
Fanfiction.net or even Archive of Our Own.
Oh, why fan fiction? Why does it have to be fan fiction? We could just write a completely original script.
It's for the same
Wait,
series.
why not some of both?
What?
Why not a little bit of both? Like,
well, because I can't do fan fiction. That's my problem. I can't take something that's already a published property. I can't take that property and then make my own storyline out of it because I already know I'm going to butcher it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to make something original.
Okay, for a moment, I was going to like, wait, no, it's transformative. It's a different idea.
Yeah, but I can't do that. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to create original stuff.
Make Carlton gay.
No, or even better, like make Carlton trans. Like let's go even further with it. Let's like him find, because I mean he got the guy. I mean there was an episode where him and Will made a dress. I mean that could be a good segue. That could be like the alternate reality episode where he finally reveals that he's a woman, and then boom, there you go.
I do not trust current directors to handle that well, or whoever would be in charge of making those decisions.
Yeah, I mean that's why you would have to. That's why you have to get trans writers and directors for that, because you're gonna get a closer to reality version when you do that. But I remember that episode specifically. Like Carlton was upset because there was the school was now going co-ed, and it's like, oh my God, there's now women going to be roaming around our halls or how they mix the extracurricular activities. And like, I was like, women can't do anything that men can. It's like, oh yeah, you want to bet? Yeah, I bet you can't make a dress. Deal. And then they make the dress, and then Carlton's like, wow, I really like how the dress brings out my figure.
Look, I just want to see Lamondo doing the fucking Carlton dance.
Lamondo?
Or whatever the hell his name is.
Or wait, you talking about the Danganronpa character?
Yeah, I was talking about the Carlton actor.
Hey, I'm the leader of a bike gang, and now it's time for me to turn on some Tom Jones.
I'm telling you, I can't talk when I'm eating.
What the fuck?
It's not unusual to go out with anyone.
Oh no, why?
You're welcome, YouTube.
No, not what you said. I was curious to what the first Prince fanfiction was like on Archive of Our Own. 61 pieces. Out of those, 21 are crossovers
with other shows.
Yeah.
Okay, not surprising.
And,
I mean,
I ran into the Alpha Beta Omegaverse for this.
Oh no!
I'm not going to go any further.
I don't want to know.
Please.
I don't want to know.
Haunt me for a while.
You don't need to. Run, Joey. You don't need to know.
I'm already
Save your
running.
innocence.
I already ran before you completed the sentence.
I'm not innocent. I'm ready to hear this.
No, you're not. No, you could talk about it after the show's over,
After
not
the
during.
show, we're not. We're just protecting the ears of the innocent. God damn it!
Fuck the innocent.
I remember there was I remember back when I was a teenager and I was hanging out with my friends. Back when I had a video camera and we were always filming we were always filming like when we were getting together at my place. And one day I was holding the camera and my friends just got done like wrestling. And so like they were in the middle of a break just eating, and then all of a sudden like I got the camera on them and they're like, "Hey, let's kill Joey and let's kill Joey and the other guy." He's like, "All right, sounds good." I immediately ran. I locked the door behind me, and my friend's like, "Let me in, let me in." I'm like, "No." So my friend runs into the bathroom. And, he tries to hide behind the shower curtain. But the thing is, he was wearing socks.
Uh-oh.
So he slips on his feet and he can't get in the bathtub.
Oh,
Oof.
no.
That is in yikes for me, dog.
So he's trying desperately, because at first he was like, okay, I got to lock the door. But he slipped on his socks and he couldn't get into the bathroom all the way. And then my friends are like, all right. And then they just tickled him.
Oh, no.
Well,
Boys do weird shit when girls are not around.
Oh, you're telling me. I grew up around them. I mean, I can't tell you what my friend was doing with my Pokemon action figures when he was growing up as a teenager.
Oh, God.
It's just like,
if it involves a cum jar, I'm walking out.
no.
What the fuck?
No.
thank you, Circus.
You're welcome.
No, what are you talking about?
Don't look up the My Little Pony cum jar.
I'm not.
Oh no!
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, you got a bunch of horny guys and like they're hanging around your house. They're gonna be like, "Oh man, I can't wait till my first time." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, you don't know what first time means. I'm like, why should I care?
Yeah.
Like, I will tell you, like teenage boys will come up with the most fantastical ways about how they want their first time to go. I'm not kidding. Like, I remember one of my friends was like, how my first time would go? It's going to be on a beach. And I'm like, wait a minute, why is it on a beach? And he's like, well, you heard the Sex on the Beach candle scent, right? I said, yes. I want it to be just like the candle scent. I'm like, do you even know what that smell? Have you that's just a candle scent. That's not something to actually do.
I think, plus it's also, I think it's also a name of an alcohol drink, Sex on the Beach.
It is that too. And considering that he had a mother that drank a lot, that was something.
There was a lot of awkward movements. Let's just say that. Everything was so awkward. He came probably fast and then he left very fast.
Man, that makes me think about great. Now I just suddenly want to go back to that liquor store and see if I can find those those little creamy shots with of either B52, Sex on the Beach, or even a buttery nipple. Really, that's what they're called.
Well, don't let me.
Okay.
But because my friend would have like gotten all those flavors if he knew they existed.
Don't tell Kevin; he might think they're actually real.
No, Kevin would at least have the decency to know that those were not real things. I'll give that to him.
Dude, Kevin's probably still a virgin to this day.
I mean, I know that for a fact. I have a friend that tells me he still is.
Oh, God. It's been 300 and blah, blah days since Kevin never had any sex.
No. It's been 300 days. It's been 300 days since the day that like he hasn't asked her out yet. Like, I'm not kidding when I'm not kidding when somebody that I used to know said, like, he used to ask me out every single day. Like, the first thing I saw him in the morning, it would be, hey, will you go out with me? And I would say no. The next day we would see each other, and it would be the same routine over and over and over. Kevin would be like, I can't live without you. Without you, I can't sleep at night.
Are we talking about Lisa here?
Yes.
Okay.
But I haven't talked to Lisa in years. But yeah, like, it's like, oh man, it's like I would hopefully one day be able to and then I haven't told, I think I told this story on Discord, but not necessarily on here. But I found out from one of my friends who knew Lisa that he got jealous of somebody that was in our theater department that ended up getting involved with her, and then he got super jealous. It's like, if only I was in that hotel with all of them during the improv troupe that we were a part of. Why wasn't in that hotel? Because they all got separate hotels, or like they did not share the same hotel. They went off and branched off in their own things. Like, why didn't I go to that hotel? I could have actually been there. But and then like, he got really upset. It's like, and then I think he went up to her and said, like, why did you have sex with him and not me? And then, and she, or something along those lines.
Really?
I can't remember what her answer was. But all I know is, like, he got really upset over it. And it got to the point where
fuckable, honey.
I still remember the day. Like, I still remember the day. Like, he got jealous of me, and it was like, it wasn't even a date. It was just hung out. It's like, man, I had a crush on that other. It was not Lisa, but it was another woman. It's like, I can't believe that you're going out. There's like, I'm not going out. We're just gonna go to a movie, and we're just gonna hang out. It's like, but how is that? How did you do that? At least, I'm like, God damn, shut up. Hey, listen, you're talking to an ace. That shit does not bother me. I look like they're all my friends. Like, I just look at things on a friendship level. I don't look at it as like, oh God, okay, I'm gonna marry this woman.
Like that, he thinks you're the fucking target. He thinks you're out to fuck everyone when it's the opposite.
That's not even my top priority, to be quite honest with you.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. It's the opposite.
It's like reality, the most boring. It's like the most boring thing to do, to be honest with you. Like, if you think about it, like, people get this wild conception that it's like what you see on the internet. Like, no, those are actual workers that get paid to do that shit. Like, this is not something where it's like, oh man, if only I could do that. Like, this happens in real life. Like, no, it's not like that at all. And even then, it's like, the concept is, like, in Kevin's mind and a lot of other guys' minds, they honestly think that you don't have to make the effort to actually be friends with them first. Like, you have to think, like, oh man, if I could just treat them like Pokemon, if I could just capture them in an Ultra Ball, like, that will be the success factor. It's like, because they literally think of dating people as like catching a Pokemon. Like, it's a rarity. Like, if they can get like the hottest of the person, like, ooh, I can use the Master Ball on them. And when I say Master Ball, I mean, like, I could really use these techniques that I picked up from a very cheap and crappy pickup artist or something like that I could just, use my moves on. And then that doesn't work.
He just wants to go back to the day when women used to be property and he could have got one easily.
Well, hopefully he's not like that. But if he is, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
and that back in those days are also with arranged marriages and shit.
That too. But I remember, what was it? My friend was like, oh yeah, because Kevin was literally getting on his knees and saying to this woman, I love you, I love you, I love you. I've been in love with you since the day I saw you. And then Lisa was like, get the fuck away from me.
Oh, what the fuck?
What, Sylph?
Wait, is the mic working? Because it's kind of...
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Just that reaction.
I have to ask, was he the smelly kid?
Okay, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't remember anybody saying that like he didn't shower or anything.
I'm asking from your point of view. Did he ever smell around you?
No, not that I can remember.
Not even like Axe.
No, I know he used Axe. I know that for a fact. He bought into the Axe commercials. Look, the only reason I bought Axe was because it was the only shampoo in the store. That's the only reason I bought it. I was like, I need shampoo. This is the only thing here. Fuck it.
Okay, boys.
The first thing on my mind was, oh God, I hope no woman tries to pounce on me. Because I've already been pounced on in college once before, and I was freaking scared for my life after that. Because I'm not kidding. Like it was literally like, what, this girl had such a crush on me. And I was like, I know you do, but you're just acting for me. I cannot be with you. But like, she came up to me once, she just hugged me from behind, and I didn't even know who was doing it. Like, wait, who's hugging me? What's going on here? Yeah. This is just like a very invasive hug. And then she was like, oh, please be mine. And like, she just had like her arms around me, like, please be mine, please be mine. I was like,
just like,
I gotta get out of here.
Get the fuck away from me. Like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, I did not like that. I did not like that.
I mean, autistic people are like very sensitive to their space. Leave them alone.
Yeah, I did not like that.
Yeah, we are. Damn.
God, I was like, that it made, like, what was going through my mind afterwards, I'm like, okay, she's gonna rip off all my clothes and she's gonna do like the weirdest shit to me, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. Like, that's what I literally thought.
Joey knows
I told this story
in a boy band now.
And I told this story to one of my friends. It's like, dude, if she did that, that would be the most epic thing. Like, the only way you would think that is if you're. Well, in their minds, it's their fantasy, because I have no doubt that they also had a crush on that girl, but, you know, because she was considered like the curvy girl at the time, and everyone wanted to be with the curvy girl, and the curvy girl happened to like me, and I'm like, no, thank you. And it's just like, oh, the only way, I was like, because, and of course they asked me if I was gay, and I'm like, no, because if a guy did that to me, I would have the same reaction. So it's like, wait a minute, are you even, so you're not straight, you're not gay, then what are you? I'm like, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure it out, damn it. Yeah. I've been trying to figure out that shit since high school, and then I find out that it was really asexual, so it made things a lot easier once I found out. But even then, it was still uncomfortable for me to even say it. But now I can't say it. But even then, it's still like a very awkward feeling when you have to say ace, because people are just like, wait a minute, like, that means nothing? Like, you don't feel nothing? I was like, no, I feel. I'm just not, what is it? I could feel, it's just, it's not like the top thing on my mind, and attraction is not what I look for.
A lot of people don't understand different, like, sexuality norms. Like, I still the pan bullshit. Like, oh, you're sexually attracted to the pans. And which gets on my nerves, I'll be honest.
So at that point, they're just trolling you.
That, and with me, I'm still trying to figure out my shit, but I'm apparently...
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, there's like there's like two queer people here, and like there's different there's like different like versions of queerness. It's not necessarily all, like, queerness is just not like one thing. It's just like it's like a spectrum of things. So like, or everything is just like in a circle of some kind. Like there's different variations.
Most people can't fathom in their mind, like, oh, you can love anybody. I'm like, yeah, because I don't see gender as a, like, overall thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the person. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and on my end, when people say like, oh, she's got a nice ass, and I'm like, wait a minute, why are you fantasizing over like a solid waist area?
Oh, so you're into that? That's where poop
Dude,
comes
I would
out
say
of
the same thing.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing with pussy. You got pee, you got fucking blood coming out of
Wait.
it. What the hell?
Yeah, that's like, why are you attracted to the thing that causes cramps and blood squirting out?
Yeah.
Or with like when it comes to boobs, like, oh my god, you see the boobs on her? It's like you're attracted to
All
baby
right, hold
feeders.
on. I gotta. You
Yeah.
just reminded me of a comic that I.
It's like, okay, you're attracted to the thing that that squirts out milk. Okay.
Dude, I actually had a fucking guy on a dating site who was actually attracted to like breastfeeding.
Excuse me. Excuse the fuck me. Squeeze the living shit out of my rock.
He's
you know
like,
what?
Mommy, can you give me some more milk? I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
Nope.
Even my own tits hurt from thinking about that.
And then even
Dude,
like people ask,
into weird people.
and then people ask me like, well, if that means you're ace, do you get horny and all? And I'm like, yes. But the one thing that I will say about getting horny is like, we fucking hate it, or at least I fucking hate it. That's like, oh god. I say like being horny as an ace is almost the equivalent of like, man, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like that's like the same thing. It's like, oh, here we go. I gotta go to the bathroom now. I was like, fuck. Like that's what it comes off as. Like it's not something that's fun.
Yeah.
It's almost like a stress reliever, and even then, it's like I can find other ways to relieve stress.
I know. I'll go watch JoJo. I'll go play Mario.
I'll go.
No, I don't watch JoJo. I don't watch JoJo to relieve stress. What'd you say, Soph?
I'm gonna go collect some propane and propane accessories.
I've always had my theory that Hank Hill was ace. I still and Peggy too. I still have that theory about them.
They probably are. The way they act sometimes.
You're dying on this hill, ain't ya?
Well, remember that episode where he thought remember that episode where Debbie was trying to hit on him, and she called his house, and then he pretended to have phone sex. And like he called up, he's like, "Oh, I just had phone sex." Like he cringed at that. I'm like, "That's ace in a nutshell, right there."
He's always guarded and all that stuff. So yeah, I can see your point. He is ace.
Yeah, but even Peggy's the same deal too, because she even doesn't even like talking about it.
I mean, come on, like that's probably why they're together, because they're comfortable with each other.
Oh yeah, because they're like very similar in terms of personality.
Yeah.
And their idea of romance is like so bizarre that it works for them and them only. Like you have to, it's like what was it? Because Hank he got mono, but he pretended that he lied to her and said he threw his back out from playing football, but really like he didn't accidentally. Like a girl just like kissed him, like it was like, oh ma'am, I see that you're
him.
Yeah, because oh ma'am, I see that your back is or something like that. Like the classic, like, oh hey, my vehicle's broken. Can you fix it, hot guy? Oh yeah, sure. Let me take a look at it, and then just pulls his pants down. Not what happened in the show, but she just kissed him. And it's like, oh god, I kissed a girl that wasn't my not girlfriend.
My girlfriend.
But she wasn't even like they were about to have a date, but they weren't dating.
Yeah.
Like she was about ready because what was it? Her mom was like, "You're cooking your first meal for him." It's like, I ruined my dinner, my first dinner. I was supposed to make a dinner for him, and I ruined it. And
yeah, but let's remember, Peggy, like Hank wasn't even Peggy's first.
Oh,
that too. That too.
Because she like slept with her friend.
She was pressured to it, right?
Basically, she slept with her best friend because to see if he was gay, and he is.
But yes, but that was like before that episode even aired. It was just like oh man, I broke my back, but really I just had mono. And she found out by going into his school records. It's like we built this story about our love based on the story, and now I find out it's a lie. And then so Hank's like, well, let's create a new story. Let's get a pig and chase it around the house.
Oh no, that fucking nightmare fucking episode comes to mind now since you mentioned pig.
Oh, the Halloween one with the guy.
Yeah, the guy who ends up getting killed on the conveyor belt at the end.
Wait, that was a Halloween episode?
Yeah.
That was considered a Halloween episode? Holy shit, I did not realize that. I just thought it was like a dark episode.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the only Halloween episode I really know is like the Christian woman who ran over a cat and then used the dead cat to explain why Halloween should be banned.
Yeah.
This is a Halloween episode I know, but oh damn.
Well, they're
Well,
all
yeah,
dressed in costumes and shit.
Yeah, but like my whole point of it was like my whole point that I was getting to is like, yeah, because that's their style of romance, just doing the wild, bizarre things or just having the wild, bizarre story that you would never hear from another couple, or at least the couple that would be put on TV. You would never hear the Hank and Peggy story on TV.
Right.
If it was real life. That's like, how did you two meet? Well, we chased the pig around the kitchen.
How the hell that happened?
Well, trust me, if it was me, that it would be a pet pig of mine, and it was like, my pet pig ran around the house, and now the woman I decided to bring over to to cook and everything. Now we're chasing the pig.
I was feeding Elmer, and Elmer got loose and went into the house and decided to eat everything that was on the table while she was cooking.
Wait, why's the pig Elmer?
I don't know.
It's just the name of a random pig. It's not. It's just she's just using Elmer as an example.
I thought the Hey Arnold pig was Abner.
Or not. It's not. Yeah, the Hey Arnold pig is Abner, but she's just saying like, oh, she's just bringing up a random pig story.
Yeah, I'm making one up in my head as I go along.
Yeah. My pig, I had like an entire 2 pounds of meat sauce, bolognese. We go into the kitchen. When we come back 5 minutes later, the pig ate all of the 2 pounds of meat sauce. And we were like, oh, we got to cook this thing for another 5 hours. And while we were cooking it, we decided to play a board game. And then the pig just ate all the Monopoly money.
Oh, God.
So then we were chasing the pig all throughout the house trying to get the money back. And then I tripped over the stairs going from outside, and then she tripped after me and she landed on me, and that's when our first kiss happened. See, I could just write it like that. Boom, simple.
There we go. See, a story naturally has to come about.
Even though with that one, that was like a complete something. I was like, okay, this is going in the script if I was doing a rom-com.
Well, I was making it up as I was going along too, so there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
But then again, I was thinking about Christmas stories and how the Bumpus's dogs barged in and ate up all the fucking like Christmas dinner too. So not so original.
Elliot.
I found out that after Christmas, Santa took the dog back to the farm.
I heard he's running through fields of clouds right now. Whatever.
He's been eating all the. He's been out there with the two mice and men characters out in the field, and then one of them's like, "Tell me about the rabbits."
Hi, baby.
And the dog's like, "Well, Fred." I don't even remember the two guys' names.
George and Lenny.
Yeah, I know one of them was autistic. That's the only reason I read the book.
Lenny.
I never read the book or seen the movie, so I don't know.
I think I've read the book when I was younger. I just can't fucking remember.
I just know that Lenny fucking gets murdered.
Well, thank you for fucking spoiling it for me, Joe.
The book has been out for 150 years. Everyone knows the ending to Mice and Men.
Not me. I never.
By this point.
I was thinking about watching it recently, but thanks for spoiling it.
I mean, people knew the ending of the Mice and Men movie while the book was out hundreds of years ago. It's like getting upset for finding out the end of Twilight when the book has already been out like years beforehand.
The book is not better.
As Jazzy would say on the show, like everything has a 2-week spoiler event. After the 2 weeks, it's gone.
Oh gosh.
We need to get him back one day.
Well, unfortunately, he works.
I know.
On Fridays, and plus he lives on the West Coast, so he's always 3 hours. Plus, Blue Sky doesn't have DMs yet. Once that happens, we'll be able to talk more. We also have to wait for Blue Sky to actually get through the beta testing.
Which reminds me, have you seen what people are trying to sell codes for or going for? Like Blue Sky invites.
Thousands of dollars.
I haven't seen it reach the thousands yet, but hundreds.
Not surprising. Yeah, because who wants to stay on X forever?
Fucked shitter.
I'm sorry. The day they decided to kill Twitter Bird, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, because there's really no point in going on there as much anymore.
Or at all.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason that people still go on there is because Blue Sky hasn't been opened as he's not gotten out of beta yet. Once that happens, you're going to see all the NFL players like touting their Blue Sky accounts. Or any celebrity for that matter. Or whenever the next season of The Bachelor comes out. It's like, here's our Blue Sky account.
I'll be honest. It's just going to be like everything else. Fucking boring and genetic. I mean,
hey, it's a good way to communicate with people online. So that's the only reason you like to do it. And like to see some like good pieces of art that people make.
I guess so. I don't know. The internet's come so sterilized. It's boring.
And hey, it's also a good way for news to get out. That's the one thing I'll say about social media. It's like the stories that come out, like you wouldn't get those from newspapers. Like things like everything is such under a microscope with what you say that like rich people can't get away with shit as much anymore. Because everybody, like every rich person has a tendency to want to get their feelings out. And then when they do, it's like, oh, okay, now we know what you really were like.
Oh, wow, yeah, the mask is off and there's an asshole there. We're not surprised.
Or we were surprised and then we realized, okay.
Maybe for the first time it happened, but after the 100th time,
Yeah. I'm sorry, it was my 20 bottle of vodka.
Okay, could you imagine if Twitter did not exist? People would be thinking of Elon Musk as an American hero.
Probably.
Because they would be doing like fluff pieces on him if social media did not exist. Like newspapers, like he would be on CNN every day talking about how he wants to bring humans to Mars. He would be taking pictures with all the Star Trek actors. That's like,
weren't
you know,
they,
one
like,
day
up until a certain point, fluffing him up already.
To a certain point, but then people realized that he was like terrible at doing Tesla. I mean, that pretty much happened straight away. But then again, like Twitter was still in its infancy. Like when Elon was beginning popular with the whole Mars thing, because that stuff was coming out in 2013. Twitter was not as mature as it became later on. Like, because 2019 is when people like started to realize, oh, this Tesla thing and this Musk guy can't even do shit.
Oh, this guy's a fucking man-child who doesn't know what he's talking about. Wow.
Yeah.
Going back to MySpace.
Oh, you want to go back to having Tom?
Yes, I like Tom. Tom was everybody's
Tom is your friend. And being able to play your own music on your own page.
Yeah. I miss the customizing shit of the early days.
You know what? Screw it. I want Quizzilla back.
Yeah.
I had the MySpace page, but I rarely even used it because I just found it boring. To be quite honest. I'm like, I'm gonna put my own music on here. Like I could just make home movies and do that.
What was the other hosting site? Crap, what was it called? I'm drawing a blank right now, but like GeoCities?
No, GeoCities was just like a website, was like a thing that people can make websites with.
Yeah, it was hosted by Yahoo at the time.
Yeah.
There's another one that was like that, but I'm blanking on what the name was.
I used to hang out in MSN groups a lot back in the day.
I mean, the only reason I used GeoCities was to look at Legends of the Hidden Temple fan sites.
Sometimes I miss the early internet.
Nah, I can live without it.
Because I don't like the sterilization of how everything looks these days.
I mean, it was pretty sterilized back then too. Like I wasn't really particular about the early internet for myself back then. Like to me, it was more sterilized back then than it is today, in my opinion. Like now everything just feels feels more free. Like people are actually saying a lot more things. Because back then, it wasn't. I mean, you didn't have any way to really connect with people except just by looking at people's art and just commenting on it, or seeing people's newsground videos and just commenting on that. And even YouTube back then, YouTube is not as exciting as it is today.
I don't know. I mean,
I miss early.
Okay, here's one thing that recently was going on. Chrome is cracking down on a lot of extensions, but they're also making it so that there's way too many ads too, and a lot of them are malicious.
Yeah, that's why I got an ad blocker.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're gonna make it so that you can't use ad blocker on Chrome anymore soon.
Oh, then I'll be switching over to Firefox.
Everyone, switch over to Firefox. You can get all the ad block you want, and there's an app called Stylus, and believe me, YouTube looks nice with a Hello Kitty theme.
I'm definitely doing that if I switch over to Firefox.
And it doesn't fuck up your computer as much. I don't know why, but Chrome took a lot of resources from my desktop.
That's probably why everything sounds like shit on my end lately.
And the moment I removed it, after when I got all that shit, the good stuff set up, yeah, it was like night and day. Have not looked back.
I don't know. I still can't use Firefox. Firefox does not work well with my computer.
Weird.
It doesn't stream properly.
If I don't use Chrome, I probably end up using Microsoft Edge or something.
I'm not using
Don't
Edge.
use Opera though, because they sell your data.
I don't.
And they tried covering up some stuff by making a VTuber.
Well, they got rid of a VTuber?
No, making a VTuber character.
Oh. I was about to say,
Opera
don't let Ghosty
VTuber.
know about that.
If it didn't happen under such shitty circumstances, I'd say the design was really cool, but no, fuck you, Opera.
I remember I only used Opera one time, and that was when I was in a college course where it was graphic design. But that was the only thing that school was able to use. So thankfully it's not my laptop, so I don't have to worry.
Oh gosh, I briefly used Opera because I wanted to have an extra browser to go on Tumblr to use a different account on. I didn't use it that long.
Admit we all have that.
Yeah.
An extra browser do shit like that.
No, not me.
It's just going between two different accounts on Instagram for me. Because I have my main account and I have Chester's account.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Elliot's under my desk.
If Elliot starts getting his own page, I'd be like, uh-oh.
Leave it up to Sylph. She probably would.
Or we could just make a different channel called the Laundromat Cats.
Oh, gosh.
And Kona, because I can't leave Kona out. But Kona doesn't really do much.
The laundry pets.
Kona's just we've been giving her food, but Kona just wants to eat our food.
Because it feels like y'all are kind of spoiling her a little.
Well, we're not really spoiling her all that much. Well, I don't know about my folks, but every time we get pizza, we would they take off a piece of the crust and give it to her.
Yep, she's spoiled.
And I was like, I'm not giving you any of the crust because I don't know what's in this. Because the one thing I know is there might be hints of garlic in here, and I'm not giving my dog garlic.
Oh, yeah, that's not good for dogs.
Yeah,
it's same with the onion, certain vegetables, artificial sweetener. I think you pronounce it xylitol, but they're rebranding it to birch sugar.
The one thing we give her for dinner every day is chicken with some of the food pellets, and she'll eat that. But a lot of times when they're like, "Ooh, I'm making a pasta sauce," and she just stares, she's just looking, and she's like, "I want the tomatoes."
Is that even okay for dogs?
I don't give it to her.
Oh,
but she just looks at it because it's different. And I'm just wondering, does Kona want variety? But there's not really much variety that we could give her besides the food that we give her.
But aren't dogs red, green, colorblind too?
I don't know.
So you imagine, yummy, a gray blob.
All I know is that Kona just does not like it when the Amazon delivery person comes to the door.
Let me at him.
Or sometimes we'll be in the kitchen cooking and she'll be barking who is in the kitchen? Then she sees me, it's I stop barking now. And then she walks away.
Who's it? Get out of my house.
It's it's just me. I'm making food. Oh, sorry, human.
Oh, carry on then.
Although she does, when I get home, she does whine because I'm talking to my folks, and then she'll be and then she'll be whining because I'm not petting her at the same time. I'm okay, let me sit down and pet you.
I want my loving.
But it's funny. I'll be gone for 20 minutes sometimes. If I'm getting a haircut or something, I'll be gone 20 minutes. I'll come back and she'll be like, you've been gone for a long time. I'm it's been 20 minutes. It's enough.
Uh-oh, Chester's eyes is fully black.
What?
What?
Oh, his pupil is big.
Yeah, that means he's in play mode and he's wanting to fight me later.
Uh-oh.
Chowder, stop. This time it's not Elliot.
Chowder's hearing mention of dogs and be oh, possible friend.
Oh, you heard my chair make a noise. It sounded like a crunch.
Although Kona does not like the other dogs in the area. She'll pee just to make sure they don't get on her territory.
Hi.
Ooh.
She'll sniff out the other dogs and I'm holding this pee because this is my marker.
Reminds me of the thing Frosty did where he went into a room. He thought he saw another dog. He starts barking at it, marks the floor, and runs out. It was his reflection.
I'm never going to be able to.
He was standoffish with it, and then run.
Yep. I would not be able to have my pet pig in here because then Kona would be like, "Why is there a pig? Why is he in here?"
What is that?
And then just
get it out of here.
I was you are not a domestic pet. I'm not in Florida, but in California, yes.
Recently, Chowder kind of made a new friend. There's this neighbor I hadn't seen in a very long time, and at first I'm okay, Chowder, I'm sorry, come on, we've got to go say hi to this neighbor. You can say hi to the dog. Uh-oh. And it was okay-ish, just she was a little wary of him because like Lola, she's a little old lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't bark. I think he wanted to sniff her. Just run around a little.
The problem is Chester makes friends. The thing is, he doesn't like.
Just doesn't like him.
He doesn't like anybody.
He's just completely sheltered. It's like, I want to just be inside alone.
Oh, yep, set in his ways.
Let's say going full Shrek. It's just, this is me and my swamp.
I can't help it. He just wants to be by him. He's just like wants me around, and that's it.
Oh, there's something.
Oh,
sorry. You finish yours, then I'll.
I was gonna say it's just like me. It's like when there's too many people in one room. It's just like, oh, too much.
Yep, he's like me, very antisocial.
Or are you gonna say self?
Oh, sorry, got caught by a yawn.
Fuck. It's contagious.
Alright, so there's this thing that I learned the other day that this thing I heard about where the game that I've been playing a lot of Genshin Impact.
Mm-hmm.
There was a the new area came out, and one of the trailers that they had was they did a character teaser for a new character, and the trailer did pretty well in English. It did well in Japanese. It did really bad in Korea.
Oh no!
Translation wise?
Oh no! Like in terms of like comments and likes versus dislikes.
Okay.
Hold on. In Japan, it was a 26,000 likes, 3.4k dislikes. The English trailer, 113,000 likes, 3.7 dislikes. And then for the Korean trailer, 5.2 thousand likes, 11k dislikes. Want to guess why it didn't do well?
Why?
Right, so the person who I'm looking at the post for claims that the trailer got a bunch of toxic comments because he wasn't a waifu. No, the problem is that the video gained a lot of homophobic comments because of the way the character Linny dresses. Hold on, I gotta show you what he looks like.
Oh, so the commenters in Korea had an issue with it because it's very queer. Very queer.
Yeah,
like,
very
it was
effeminate
a queer
character.
Yeah, it was a queer character. Okay.
And hold on, you gotta see what, because I thought its design was cute. Oh man, what the heck? You want? I'll share it on the Discord. I thought he was a very cute character, and oh gosh, top comment: effeminate male. The same. They're quoting that, and someone wrote the same country of BTS.
True. Yes. Or just K-pop in general.
I haven't seen the video myself. It was really fucking stupid because the character, he's a magician.
Mm-hmm.
So some of his aesthetic, or no, not some, a lot of his aesthetic is influenced by that. And the fact that he's a very, I want to say social character, but like he's known, for being very involved in his acts and... Alright, I'm sharing this on the Discord.
Oh. Let me see this.
Don't use that one to show the stream. Use the next one.
Oh, I get it though. Oh, that looks like a Ace Attorney character.
Yeah.
It's very Ace Attorney like. I can get down with that.
Oh.
I like the top hat on the kitty looking thing.
Yeah, that's like my favorite part. Oh.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. I'm cool with it. More queer, the better.
Looks badass to me.
What the hell?
What was that? I heard something.
Oh no, sorry. I was just looking at some of the comments.
Oh.
And okay, I'm gonna add what makes this even more messed up. One of the earliest characters is very gender non-conforming, and in fact was very pretty. Hold on, I'm gonna share this on here too, but I don't know if they ever had complaints about Venti, but if they didn't say anything about that, then they were big fucking hypocrites.
Yeah, I don't think they said anything because it would have been said at least.
Then again, I just started playing the game this year, and right, I shared
there would have been something out by then, even then. So
yeah, I shared the other image on the Discord.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, very very pretty design.
Yeah, again, it almost looks like something out of a very popular anime that would have been made it to the States and been like. Actually, it would have been something in a Danganronpa sequel.
Ah. Though I did hear from Malik that he was supposed to be a girl. Then again, technically he was a wind spirit, so it wasn't like exactly like he had a gender to begin with. That's just
That's it.
Spoiler
Just
alert
call it
to anyone who wants to mute. That's just the appearance he took on because it was based on his best friend who died in battle. All right, there we go. Spoiler over.
So paying tribute.
Yep. Might have added a few artistic interpretations here and there. Like the braids having the dyed part, maybe. I can't remember. It's been a while since I played his story.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I actually spent a lot of time saving up just to get the polls, but I got Lenny in my game.
Wait, did you say Lenny?
Lenny?
I was like, you got Lenny from The Simpsons in there?
Lenny or Lenny? I don't know how the fuck you pronounce his name.
I was like, not Lenny.
We all like Lenny.
That would have been something else.
They pronounce it Lenny. I don't know why. Hi, baby kitty.
Hey, buddy. He's asleep on my bed, comfy in that pile of my blankets.
Oh, just surrounded by blankets. It's in cloud 9.
Oh gosh, hot.
He's a warm cinnamon bun right now.
Oh, that's nice. Oh,
crap.
Oh, I feel like a big toasty cinnamon bun. I never want to leave this bed.
I don't want to leave this bed.
Gotta
we
take
might
a
as well
whiz.
end this on a high note. There's a really cute image that I found that I thought was really really nice. It was from the Black Cat subreddit. Hold on, I just got to get it again. But where someone's cat finds a very good place to fall asleep. where he makes his own little bed. Posted by user Rachel Saint. I put it in the private chat.
I see it. And there you go.
He's got zoom in on or click on that to zoom in.
It keeps going into the next page.
Okay, right click, open link in new tab.
I can't even. Oh, it just, if I zoom in, it just shortens the picture.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't even zoom out because then it just doesn't do the picture. It's the website.
Maybe I could get it then.
Well, we're running out of time anyway, so.
All right.
Not gonna have much time anyway.
I have to figure
It's the website. It's Reddit. It's not the thing. It's not the Zoom. It's the website. It won't allow you to zoom in on pictures.
Right. Reddit has fucked up a lot recently. I guess that's one of them.
What's up? We'll think about it later because I feel like I'm gonna crash. Shake.
Yeah. It's getting close. Well, I mean, it's getting close to like 9 over where you are.
It's already past it. 3 past. 3 after.
Yeah, for us on the East Coast, it's 10 p.m. So that's a good time to close the laundromat for tonight. All right, folks, we'll be back. We'll be back after Labor Day on Friday with another podcast episode. And then Wednesday, we start our case 2 for Ace Attorney Justice for All. So we'll be back for that one as well. So good night, everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like it. If you like the content, because that helps with the algorithm, because the algorithm is weird like that. And there's a bell that you can ring that apparently gives you notifications, even though sometimes the bell doesn't want to ring just for weird reasons. But do it anyway, just in case the bell decides to do it. But in the meantime,
get back here.
We'll catch you all next time. Until then, good night.
Come here, you fucking chicken! I'm gonna kill you.
What are you doing?
Whoa! Okay.
Corn everywhere.
It's a mess.
Come here, corn.
It's a mess.
Run for your lives, you guys! Popcorn everywhere!
Fuck.
Fucking chicken.